Um. Oh, what just happened? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. We got breaking news. The Chicago Bears just traded Khalil Mack for a second and a sixth in 2023. The Chicago Bears, you're hearing this here right. The Chicago Bears have traded Khalil Mack for a second and a sixth in 2023. It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. I am just as confused as you guys are right now. I'm getting news as it's coming in. I am following Twitter as it's coming in. This is an interesting move. This is Ryan Poles' first big move. How do you guys feel about it? How do you guys feel about it? I don't know how to feel about it. Because the Bears, right, moving on, like, I don't hate this, but I feel like it feels like a fleece almost. Like, it feels like a fleece to me almost. I'm looking at the age. I'm looking at the production. Of course, Mack dealing with injuries the last couple of years. You have to factor all of that in. You have to factor all of that in. And you have to take into account the mindset of a lot of these guys, man. A lot of these good teams, they give up on somebody a year early, over a year late, right? You had to get picks back. You had to get the picks back. Is Khalil Mack worth more than a second round pick right now? Is Khalil Mack worth more than a second round pick right now? That's the question on the table, right? Mike Nice saying he's worth a first. I don't know. I listen, you still have to deal with the fact that he is 31. This is his age 31 season. You still have to deal with the fact that he is dealing with injury issues the last couple of seasons. And the production has gone down. If you're just coming in here now, Khalil Mack has been traded to the Los Angeles Chargers for a second and a sixth. Now, you get the draft capital back in the building, right? You get the draft capital back in the building. I'm not mad at getting the draft capital back. I'm impressed that you got a second for Khalil Mack, right? You get the cap space back for this season. And what do the Bears need? We know what the Bears need. They're looking to get offensive line help. I said, I'm okay if you trade a little bit of defense to go help out your offense, right? If you trade some of that defense to go help out your offense, okay, we're moving in the right direction. I wasn't expecting Khalil Mack to be that piece, mostly because I didn't expect anybody to come back and want to take on that contract, right? And maybe you're thinking, hey, we got Robert Quinn in the building. You can, at a minimum, right? You've got a pass rusher on one side. Maybe you can find one somewhere else. You're not going to find one of that caliber. But I really feel like if you're serious about Justin Fields, right? If you're dead set on Justin Fields becoming your franchise quarterback, you have to get him some help. What does that mean? You have to open up cap space to pay guys on the offensive line side of the ball. You have to open up cap space to pay guys on the offensive line side of the ball. You're trying to go out and get you the best left tackle you can at this point. You're trying to go out and get you a Terron Armstead. You know, I dropped the video today talking about what the Bears might be able to get at a left tackle position, right? And I'm thinking, in my mindset, there's not enough money on this team for you to go out and not get the big name guy. Unfortunately, sometimes this is what you got to do. By the way, 53 people in here, man. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Let's get this mug cracking off, man. Hit that like button for me. 53 people in here. If you're just joining the live, the Chicago Bears have traded away Khalil Mack for a second and a sixth to the Los Angeles Chargers in 2023. You're essentially, here's the thing, right? You're essentially making the decision, in my mindset, right, that you're looking to go for offensive linemen here. You have to land that big name offensive lineman. And for you to even have a chance for this to work, you have to have that money freed up. I don't like losing Mack. Right? I'm pissed that we lost Mack. But if I'm being real about wanting to protect Justin Fields with a real left tackle, not just a rookie who might be able to get it together, you know what I'm saying? Not just the guy who might be able to make it happen, but a legitimate left tackle. You're going to have to spend real money on a legitimate left tackle. Guess what? That's money that Khalil Mack was eating up. You've still got some pieces on. Are you going to re-sign James Daniels? Are you going to re-sign James Daniels? If you're going to put together an offensive line that's going to be worth something for years to come, that's going to stand in front of what kind of guy is your franchise quarterback? By the way, over 100 in the chat. Hit that like button. If you're going to stand here and tell me you're going to put a guy in front of him that's going to protect Justin Fields, you're going to have to use that money. This frees up $24 million in cap space for the Chicago Bears. Now, here's the question. How far do you go? Now the question here is, how far do you go? This frees up 24 mil. How far do you go with this defense, right? And you got to think, listen, guys, we got a defensive-minded head coach. You've got to think that he would want the best defensive players he can get in the room on this team. Does that mean he didn't feel like Khalil Mack on this team was one of the best defensive players anymore? That's a real question. That's a real question. This frees up $24 million in cap space for the Chicago Bears right now. And now you got to go out and try and figure out if you can find that guy that's going to protect Justin. That's Ryan Poles' next job. He's an offensive lineman. You know that he wants to get this offense moving in the right direction. How do you guys feel about the trade? How do you guys feel about the trade? I see it coming in. Captain Obvious. Captain Obvious, I ain't seen you in a minute, man. What's going on? He says they gave up a Hall of Fame pass rusher for someone in college and not even good enough to be a first rounder. Listen, guys, I hate to tell y'all this. If y'all feel like Khalil Mack was worth a first rounder, the injuries and the age would dictate you're wrong. Yes, he wins his matchups. Yes, he's going to be a monster over on the Chargers. I don't disrespect Khalil Mack at all. He is dominant. But unfortunately, based on his age and the injuries he's had consistently since he's been here, this is not just an injury last year. Khalil Mack has played through a ton of injuries since he's been here. He is a beat-up man. He is a beat-up man. I'm not saying that this is an even trade. I'm not saying that this works out for you. But you have to – now it's on Poles to land that big fish. Now it's on Poles to land that big fish. As P Kid in the chat as well, pettiest man alive. That $24 million allows you to do a lot. That $24 million on the trade allows you to do a lot. I'm still waiting on more news, see if there's any more news coming in here. We got the news that baseball's back, but now who cares? Eddie Jackson on Twitter, he posts the mind blown emoji. He doesn't seem like he's too happy. And here's the thing, right? Like Hogslop said, shout out to Hogslop. By the way, like the video, subscribe to the page, man. Subscribe to the page. We're doing this every single day. It's the only channel that's talking Chicago sports, How Chicago Talk. Make sure you get in tune with us. Here's the thing. It makes sense, but it still sucks. Both can be true. This is the comment of the day right here. It makes sense, but it still sucks. It sucks to give up Khalil Mack. It sucks that we weren't able to win a ring with him. It sucks that we weren't able to win a ring with him. Mike Nice, it's just not true. It's just not true. He's had a ton of injuries. His production has dipped since he's been here. Not because of him, because of the guys around him. I would put that more on, right? Because of not having Akeem Hicks due to his injuries. Because of Robert Quinn not showing up his first season. The production dipped. You couldn't have got a first for him. We're overvaluing Khalil Mack because we love Khalil Mack. I felt wrong about it. I felt like this was a bad trade. But now I'm looking at what kind of cap space we've cleared up. Now I'm looking at what kind of money you have to go out and spend on a guy to protect Bears fans. What do we want? We've seen pass rushers. We've seen pass rushers. We can find pass rushers. The franchise history tells me the Chicago Bears will find another pass rusher. That 36 inches of bear head right there is nothing but pass rushers. We got that. We want a franchise quarterback. You can't have a franchise quarterback unless you're willing to put somebody in front of him that's going to stand in front of him and block for him. You can now go out and get that guy with the money you've cleared up. Now you got to go out and get that guy. You have to go out and get a hit on that. You have to go out and get a hit on that. Brian Pickard, not like that. How many Hall of Famers we got? How many Hall of Fame pass rushers, linebackers we got? How many? You telling me the Bears will never find another one again? It's what we're built on. That logo back there is nothing but pass rushers and linebackers and defensive. It's it. To me, you got to go out and be looking for Terron Armstead. To me, you got to go out and be looking for Terron Armstead right now. That if you're clearing up this kind of space, if you're making this kind of move, you got to land the biggest fish on the market. My bad, Vern. I had seen your comment, pinned it, and started talking, bro. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that mug again. Vern had asked me a question. Here we go. Pat, do you think we still have enough to be a solid defense? Because to me, we have enough. Our offensive line needs to be bulked up. I don't know. Because the dudes I saw last season wasn't enough. And unfortunately, that includes Khalil Mack. The dudes that I saw last season wasn't enough. Robert Quinn set a Bear record for sacks. And guess what? Your defense still looked meh. Your defense still looked meh. Yeah, they play. Right? You have to figure out what you really have here. Clearing up that space, you get the 24 mil back, you get a second round pick. You're getting more money. You can now go out and make this move. Burb says, do you think they use the extra picks to try and move up and get Olave? I don't think Olave is that guy. Listen, I understand everybody wants the Jamar Chase connection, right? I understand everybody wants the Jamar Chase connection. But Jamar Chase is a freak of nature. Jamar Chase didn't play his last year in college, and because of COVID, it literally came into the league doing the exact same thing he was doing as a junior with a year off. That connection, it's not the same dude. I like Olave. I don't think you move up that far to get him. I don't think you give up that kind of capital to go get him, right? Now, if it's something, also, here's the thing, it depends on what you get up. It depends on what you give up there. Chargers are taking on all of Mack's contract, 3 years, all of Khalil Mack's contract. So the Bears aren't on the hook for any of this. This is now looking like a better move. I'm not gonna lie to you, right? To me, this is looking like a better move. That's $63.9 million, and the Bears get the picks. They're paying him $63.9 million. For the next 3 years. That's not a bad move. A second is listen, it doesn't feel good, right? That's what it is. Bears fan, it don't feel good. But can we admit that this is a logical move? Can we admit that this is a logical move? Pat, do you think we need to do you think we trade Quinn for picks? I don't know if you destroy the entire defense, y'all. I don't know if this is a move that destroys the entire defense, because y'all remember Robert Quinn was doing a lot of this before or without Khalil Mack on the field. Robert Quinn, listen, I was Quinn's biggest detractor when he came on, because his first year absolutely did nothing for the Bears. But last season, Robert Quinn was doing it without him. So does this mean you blow up the entire defense? I don't know if this is what that means. Khalil Mack, we can say he was the driving force of that defense. And I'm sorry, I keep looking down, y'all. I'm looking for updates on the phone as well. I can get Twitter up on the second screen here so I can stop looking down, so I can look at y'all, man. I want to look y'all in your eyes, man. I want to look Bears Nation in the eyes tonight. Hicks is probably gone. The Vikings have been going hard, as it's been reported, for Hicks. The Vikings have been going hard for Hicks, and they want to get him in there. I'm trying to see games played last season. Khalil Mack, games played. Show me games played. Khalil Mack played in 7 games last season, y'all. So now my question to y'all. Do you blow up the entire defense? Or do you try and keep the guys that you have and win with them? Listen, Bears fans, you've still got Roquan Smith. You've still got Robert Quinn. You've still got Jalen Johnson. You need to find pieces to put with those guys. But those guys did it for the most part without Khalil Mack last season. The defense as a whole had issues. Mr. Classic says you might as well rebuild the whole defense. I mean, really, are we talking about a rebuild, or are we talking about just you have to find pieces? What are we really defensively? What do we have? Do we count Eddie Jackson as a piece right now? Let me know. Do you count Eddie Jackson as a legit piece? He's one of the highest paid safeties in the league. Would you say that he's a legit piece? I would say he's a sometimes. But there's not much left, y'all. There's not much left there. David says the defense is already blown up. You're already getting rid of Mack and Hicks. All you have is Quinn and Roquan Smith. Jalen Johnson. But yeah, you don't have much. You don't have much. So you needed to rebuild on that side of the ball anyway. A lot of people saying Eddie Jackson is a liability. Richard says in this defense, Eddie Jackson is a piece. That's yet to be seen. And Jalen isn't a guarantee. Okay, so you feel like you have two pieces then. You know what I'm saying? Like if we're being real, the defense needed to be rebuilt anyway. Do you get rid of Quinn and start from square one? Maybe. Maybe that's a move you make. But I'll tell you this right now. That's not going to be the first thing on their mind. That's how I feel with all of this. That's not who I feel. That's not what I feel is going to be the first move, because guess what? We've had defenses. We can build defenses. We've still got a defensive-minded head coach. He's going to be able to find defenses. You need to rebuild an offensive line. You need to listen, I'm not a Mitch guy. I've never been a Mitch guy. I can't say I've never been a Mitch guy. When first 2.5 years, I was a Mitch guy, right? If you're going to give your quarterback a chance, if they had ever given Mitchell Trubisky a chance, you don't take a guy that high and not put people in front of him that are going to protect his butt. You don't pick people that high. You picked Mitchell Trubisky second overall, whether he's the answer or not. You never put an offensive line in front of him that gave him a chance. Don't do that with Justin Fields. I like that Ryan Poles isn't doing that with Justin Fields. I don't know if he gets Terron Armstead. I'm not huge on Eric Fisher. If y'all check out the video, I got a video posted on my channel. Over 200 in the chat. Hit that like button, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. 200. But if I don't know how I feel about Eric Fisher, because Eric Fisher allowed 7 sacks last season. A lot of sacks allowed last season. Now with Carson Wentz, but he allowed 7 sacks last season. I don't know how I feel about Fisher as your left tackle. I like Jacob Noteboom. I think that he's a nice piece. I think he's somebody who's been backing up Andrew Whitworth out in LA for 4 years. It looks like the Rams are trying to pay him to protect Matthew Stafford. Maybe you finally give him a shot. He's 27 years old. He played well in there. Maybe that's where you go with it. Mike Nice says, okay, we build up the old line. Then what? We have nobody to throw to. Mooney ain't the answer, y'all. Mooney's a nice number 2. You still got to go get a number 1. That's not a secret, bro. But you still got to get you still, it doesn't matter who the wideout is if Justin is laying on his back. Doesn't matter who the wideout is if Justin is laying on his back. And when I bring up Eric Fisher is up there in age. He's 31. He'll be playing his age 32 season here. He's low penalties. Pretty bad in pass pro last season, but he's had a couple of Pro Bowl seasons, and durable. The thing with Terron Armstead played 8 games last year. Terron Armstead has been durable throughout his career, but he's 30 years old now. And when those big guys start to break down, they usually don't come back. Do you want to take that chance? You need to find people, though, that are going to stand in front of Justin Fields and keep him off his back. You got to give this kid a chance to prove that he can be what we think he can be. I don't think Mitch is the end-all, be-all. I think Mitch is a little better than what we saw here. You picked him second overall, and you never put anybody in front of him that could stand up and keep him alive. You were relying on Kyle Long, who couldn't even keep his shoulder in place half the time. Go out there. I like Jacob Noteboom. I think that's a good name. I think he's going to be an interesting name at left tackle. You might be able to, you might have to overbid, but because he hasn't shown much, you might not have to pay as much for him. Might still have room to go get a playmaker. Like the video if you agree, man. 190 and his 65 likes, man. Let's get this mug cracking. I'm trying to see if there's any more news coming down the pipeline here. According to Jacob Infante on Twitter, the Bears now have picks number 39 and 48 in the 2022 NFL draft. Trading Khalil Mack for draft capital makes sense, and the draft will be helpful for the rebuild. Still, I'm shocked they decided to pull the trigger. Am I hold on, Jacob saying 2022. Ian Rappaport reported 2023. What's the real story on this? 2022 is a big difference. Because then you can package something and maybe go up and get a real pass rusher. I'm seeing conflicting reports here. Here's Rappaport. So he's updated it. Here we go. The Chargers are loading up to go get QBs, which, by the way, yeah. Hey, Russell Wilson. Hey. Oh, Russ. Run, Russ. Von Miller's coming home. Von Miller's coming back to Denver. And oh, I'm tweaking. He's on Denver. What am I talking about? But Khalil Mack's coming for you. Russ, have fun. The arm, here it says, so Khalil Mack to the Chargers for a second rounder this year. So it is a second rounder this season. That's bigger now. And now I feel even better. Dog, as the news is coming out, right? I feel better about the trade. I got on this live confused. That's P Kid. I got on this live confused, like, I don't know, dog. And the Chargers are taking on the full brunt of this contract. It's $24 million off of the cap this season. $24 million off of the cap for the Bears this season, and they're taking on the full contract. So they're paying out Khalil Mack $63.9 million through his age 33 season. How y'all feel about that? Don Burr in the chat here to troll, ladies and gentlemen, says we got robbed. Hold on. Come back here, Don. Said we got robbed, plus got that cat, plus got handle that cap hit. We don't have that. We got the money back, Don. Hey, Don, what's going on in Detroit right now? I feel better about this. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't feel great about it when it happened. but now I still don't feel good about it because it's Khalil Mack, right? Khalil Mack has been the staple of this team. He's been, I'm going to go get you. I'm going to hit the quarterback for you. I'm going to make things happen for you on defense. I'm going to be a game-changing player. That's what Khalil Mack has been for the Chicago Bears team. But he's been injured the last couple of years. He hasn't been able to be the Khalil Mack that he's wanted to be. He hasn't been able to be the Khalil Mack that he's wanted to be here. Hopefully he's able to do that for San Diego. I'm going to be cheering for him. I'm going to be showing mad love for him. Chargers might be my AFC team now. But this is big for the Bears. Mike Knight said, how do I get reimbursed for my Mac jersey? Now here's the question, right? Here's the question. Who do you go get? Now it's on polls, right? Now everything, hey, we're looking right at you. Ryan. We know why you're doing this. We know why you're doing this. By the way, listen, you don't got to get rid of a Mac jersey, dog. You don't got to get rid of a Mac jersey. And yeah, I'm seeing some people come in questioning whether we get $24 million. The Chargers took the cap hit. The Chargers are taking on all of Khalil Mack's money. We come out of this with nothing. Richard Long says pass rushers are the difference in the last couple of Super Bowls. Agreed, brother. But are we going to a Super Bowl next season if we can't get this offense moving in the right direction? I agree with you. You need those guys, but are we going through? Are we getting anywhere? Are we getting to the playoffs next season if we can't get more than 17 points a game out of this offense? We got to allow Justin to develop. We've got to. We've spent the entire time with the Bears. The few times we've had success, we've had good offensive lines. Chargers are taking on the entire contract. It's not a bad deal at all. There's going to be some fans in here. Come on now. Let's be logical, y'all. Logically, is this a good move? Yes. Does it feel good? Absolutely not. Aiden says, who do you think should be our top 3 free agent targets? To me, you're looking at Terron Armstead. Even with the injury issues, the fact that New Orleans can't pay him, he has to be number 1 on your list. He has to be number 1 on your list, right? In his entire career, I had to when I looked up his numbers, right? When I went and looked up Terron Armstead's number, let me give y'all his numbers, right? Let me go to my notes real quick. Let me give y'all his numbers. I had to make sure I was reading this right. In his entire career, he's had 14 false starts. He had 2 last season. He had 1 the season before when he played all the games. In his entire career, he has 13 holding penalties. Guys, we need people that are going to be disciplined on this line. You have linemen that aren't disciplined. You have linemen that don't know what it means to protect your quarterback. The only person that stood up for Justin Fields when he thought it was a dirty hit was the rookie who had been there 3 games. You've got people on this line that don't know how to act. You need somebody that's been there before. His entire career, he has allowed 18 sacks. He's got to be number 1 for you. His entire career, y'all, his whole career, 29 total penalties. Ryan Poles has made the decision, in my mind, if you trade away a Khalil Mack, you're looking to find your help on offense. You start with the line. You start with the line. Black Dank, a lot of money for an offensive lineman. You have no choice. It's free agency. You're overpaying. But here's the thing, right? Would you rather take your chance with the guy who legitimately you drafted to play the position, but has never played left tackle in his life? Has never played left tackle in his life. Or do you put him at his natural position? My bad, bro. I see you commenting. Other 2. For me, wide out, you're letting Allen Robinson walk. I like the name Christian Kirk. If you're gonna, to me, if there's anything left over, if you have any opportunity to go get a number 1 wide out, go get a number 1 wide out. You know what I'm saying? I like Christian Kirk. I like DJ Chark. I think that's the range you'll be in there. Will Fuller. Those are the names you're probably going to be in on, right? You're not going to see an OBJ come in here. It's too much money. You're not going to see Juju, maybe a Juju, right? Maybe. I don't know. I don't see it, but maybe. But I don't think you're going to have the money to get that O-line and get a Juju Smith-Schuster ranked guy. Maybe an Amari Cooper. But to me, that's the range you're in, right? RH, Juju's not a number one wide receiver. There's not a lot of them on here. There's not a lot of them in free agency, number ones. They got locked up. We were talking about Mike Williams from the Chargers. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping he came back. T Live says OBJ coming off an injury. You don't think he'll take a little less? He's not gonna be back for a while, though, dog. He tore his ACL in the Super Bowl. You're literally picking from, I mean, if you can get Amari Cooper, yeah, go get Amari Cooper. If you really want to talk about the best available wide receiver on the market right now, it's the biggest person that nobody's going to want. It's the biggest person nobody's going to want. Best wide receiver on the market right now is Antonio Brown. Nobody wants him, though. In this city, I know it. Nobody wants him. And Antonio Brown's not taking a discount. But if you want to talk about the best receiver on this list, it's Antonio Brown. Y'all want him? Look at the chat. Look at the chat. No, AB is a head case. But we're talking about talent. The best talent on this list, the best available, is Antonio Brown. Outside of that, you're talking about what? AJ Green, Jamison Crowder, maybe. Who else we got? We got Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Y'all want him? Y'all want Valdez-Scantling? After watching him drop passes up in Green Bay every single week? DJ Chark's an interesting one. DJ Chark's coming off of getting his legs snapped in half. Chicago Garza, I'll take Amari Cooper. I'd love to get Amari Cooper in here. You know what the problem is? Amari Cooper don't want to come here. He's looking at other teams. These are the best available wide receivers for you guys. These are the best available wide receivers for you. Go get AJ Green. AJ Green is 35 years old. No, he's what is he? 30, 34? 34, 35, somewhere in there. You're talking about your options are DJ Chark, Christian Kirk, maybe Michael Gallup. Very slim. And you're dealing with less money because you have to go out and stick a guy in front of you to guard the guy that's got to put the ball in their hands. Williams says we should have got Corey Lindsey. Why would they give up their starting center for Khalil Mack? Come on now. Come on, dog. We smarter than this. we smarter than this. Javier Lifestyle says Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin, from what I'm hearing, they're trying to re-sign him back in Tampa Bay. He's probably not going to be on the market. You know what I'm saying? My man's definitely said we should have asked for their starting center. Come on, dog. If y'all are just getting in here, man, want to hear your reaction to the news. Want to see how you guys feel. Chicago Bears have traded Khalil Mack. What are your thoughts on this? Yeah, those are the two positions I would look at. Austin, do you think we could have gotten a first from someone else? And here's the thing, right? So you don't get the first. You're not going to get the first because you've got them taking on the money. No. You found a team that was going to take on the money. You don't call around. They took on $63 million with the cap hit. You don't call around. That's one of them. You hit this move. I'd like for you to take on the cap hit. You will. You get the contracts. Get the contracts. Get the contracts. I'm here. Yeah. You take on all of it. All of it. Get the goddamn contracts over there. Send it in the fax. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, all of it. Yeah, all of it. What do we want back? Second round pick. You do. Hold on. You do it. Hold on. Send the fax. Send the fax. Yeah. You do it. Yeah. We can make that a second. Anything else? I'd take a seventh. You know what? You listen. If I'm not asking for too much, what about a sixth? So a second, a sixth, and you taking all the money. Get the goddamn contract over. Send the fact. Yeah. It's on the way. Don't you worry about it. Brother. You know what? I'm so glad that we were able to talk. Get the league on the phone. I'm so glad we were able to talk to you today. So glad. Hey, listen. Love you, brother. You know what? How's the kids? How's the goddamn kids today? Yeah. Tell Justin I said hi. All right. Yep, all right. Now you stay blessed. Praise God. Yep. Get the goddamn league on the phone. That's what you do when they take that kind of money on. They just took all of KHALIL Mack's cap hit. Y'all realize that, right? Y'all realize that, right? That's ridiculous. Now, here's the thing. They're all in. The Chargers are all in for next year. It makes sense for the Chargers to take on that money. It makes sense for the Chargers to take on that money. It doesn't make sense for us to have that money. Sports genius. Pat, why don't you cover the Chicago Fire? Dog, because I have never watched a Chicago Fire game in my life. Not a soccer fan like that, my boy. Now, here's the thing, right? This is not the end of it. This isn't the end of it. Shout out to Baki in the chat, man. Baki keeping us going on Twitter. Hold on. Let me check the noties. You said you sent the tweet, Baki? Oh, I'm on the wrong page. That's why I'm like, man, I don't see nothing coming from Baki. God dang it, I ain't even got my account on here. Hold on, Baki. So here's the details right here. Shout out Sean Hammond. Bears are trading KHALIL Mack to the Chargers, per Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport. Chargers receive KHALIL Mack. The Bears received the 2022 second round pick, the 2023 sixth round pick. Trading Mack saves them $6 million in cap space in 2022 and clears out $28 million in 2023. They took his money. That's the end of it. Black Day said, did polls just do an 8K? Maybe. Now here's the deal, right? Here's the deal. It's not over. It's not over. Sports Genius, start watching, Pat. Don't bandwagon when we win. a chip, win the chip. I I won't. Listen, I'll guarantee you I won't. It's not over though. The Khalil Mack trade starts everything, right? It starts what you need to get done. That doesn't mean Ryan Poles has done his job. Shout out to Jed all out in Australia, man. Appreciate you, brother. I'm a miss Mac too. That doesn't mean that Ryan Poles is done with his job, right? Yeah, Mac's gone. Yes, you cleared out the cap space. Now you got to figure out a way to entice people to come to Chicago. Now you got to figure out a way to entice people to come to Chicago. Because right now, listen, I'm going to tell you this right now. Khalil Mack's not in the building. Chicago look a little worse. Be real, right? Chicago look a little worse. And I'm not saying Mack is done. I'm not saying Mack is over the hill. I'm not saying, but sometimes you got to give up too early over too late. Chef Mac, we should trade for DK. I'm seeing a lot of DK. DK, here's the thing, right? I don't believe DK is the number one. DK is a monster of a man. He is LeBron James in the football building. You know what I'm saying? He's LeBron James in the football building. But Tyler Lockett's their number one. Tyler Lockett's the guy they were looking to on third down. Mad says the Mack trade might save Eddie Goldman too. Eddie Goldman's an interesting one for me, right? There were times last year where he absolutely had it. There were times last year where it didn't seem like he wanted to be on the football field, right? Eddie Goldman's a weird one for me. I'd love to see him this year. Pat, look up World Cup ratings versus Super Bowl ratings, billions versus millions, my guy. I mean, okay. Yeah, World Cup's different, dog. Like, yeah, I watched the World Cup. Why are you talking about soccer right now, dog? And this is the thing too, right? Hold on. One, this is why I don't buy people's jersey in season. But you don't have to feel bad about having a Mack jersey. Khalil Mack was really good when he was here. You can still wear your Mack jersey with pride. Hey, Ken Burke, I don't know why he's talking about soccer right now, bro. You can still wear your Mack jersey with pride. Khalil Mack was really good when he was here. That's okay. 248 in the building, man. Hit that like button. Appreciate that love. Let's get this thing up over 300 in the chat, man. Hit that like button. When the move first came out, not a fan. Now I'm with it. When you find out how much money the Bears are saving and what they actually can do with it, because here's the thing, right? It's not just saving money. You got to spend this money. That man Poles was up in there trying to talk about something. I got to figure out how to get this money by tomorrow. You see George McCaskey peeking. Huh? I got to figure out how to get this money by tomorrow. Goldman's an interesting one. This defense is an interesting one. It's going to be interesting to see how this defense comes out the next season. I don't know. But I'll say this, right? You're looking at now, okay, guess what? I have to figure out if Matt Eberflus makes as big a difference as he says he's going to make with the people he's brought in and put in place. Because remember, Matt's not calling plays. Matt's building this team in his image, and he's head coaching. Is he going to be able to do what he wants to do? Is he going to be, not to do what he wants to do, is he going to be able to build this team in a way that it's successful even without having Khalil Mack on it? Shout out to the Shy with the super chat, man. He says, do you trade Robert Quinn for a first? You're not getting a first for these guys, dog. These are 30-plus-year-old pass rushers. They're not sending you a first. How old is Robert Quinn? 31. You're not getting a first. I'm sorry. You're not getting a first for these guys. You're trading Robert Quinn for the highest available pick if you are trading him at all. I'm going to be real with you. I don't know if you trade Quinn. You still need players that are going to play on the other side. You still need players that are going to play on the other side. Lynn Diesel says, upset now. Shout out to you for the super chat, bro. He says, I'm upset now. I'm upset, but now we can pay Roquan and get help for Fields to stay upright. Those are two big things. Y'all also remember, right? James Daniel is not under contract anymore. You got to get him back. And I know there's a lot of people that are on the fence about James Daniel. James Daniel was the best lineman on a bad line. You got to get him back. He's the one piece on that offensive line Ryan Pace got right. He's the one piece on that offensive line that Ryan Pace got right. James Daniels last season, one false start, one holding penalty. He allowed 3 sacks. By the way, it's the worst season he's had while standing next to the worst offensive line he's been a part of. It's the worst season he's had while standing next to the worst offensive line he's been a part of. Six penalties last season. As a whole, 6 total penalties last season. I can feel good about that. Shout out to David. He says DK and Mooney would be a good duo. By the way, the other years, here's some things from the other years just to give you a caveat on what he can be. Yeah, he might have had a little bit of a down year by some of the numbers, right? Season before, he had 0 holding penalties and 1 false start. Season before that, 2019, he had 2 holding penalties, no false start. By the way, 2020 didn't allow a sack. 2019 allowed 1 sack. He's the best offensive lineman you've got. You got to get him back, and you got to figure out a way to put somebody else on the field. You just do. DK and Mooney would be a good duo. I love DK. Here's the thing, right? Okay, maybe. You could. Give me a second to think on that one. Give me a second to think on that one, David. Because to me, you got 2 take the top off receivers. DK not exactly known for his hands. That's a tough one. Maybe, but focus on the line for me first. Chef Max says, I think we should worry about our secondary compared to our D-line. Besides, I heard Roquan might make the switch to outside linebacker. I want Roquan to I'm sick of us doing that. Let Roquan play the Pro Bowl position. Let him play his Pro Bowl position. Or what should have been a Pro Bowl. Let me take that back. What should have been a Pro Bowl position. Dude's on par with what Bobby Wagner's doing out here. Killing the Villain says, Bears take cap hit, only saving $6.2 million from the trade. They're saving $34 million from the entire thing, though. 30. Hold on, I just had to tweet. What is it? 34 mil. Over the next 2 years, you're saving $34 million. What else we got? Whitehair has been great too. He was Pace, yeah. Whitehair has been, I don't know what Jed's asking. Whitehair has been great too. Whitehair has been iffy. But again, Whitehair's salvageable. If he's healthy, he's salvageable. If he's healthy, he's salvageable, right? He's not the worst center we've got. If we have to run Cody Whitehair out there with a stud left tackle, James Daniels, you're hoping Tevin Jenkins and Larry Borum, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So this is from Bears Nation. He says Khalil Mack's cap hit this season was going to be 30. Okay, so this is updated information here. All right, Khalil Mack's cap hit is going to be was going to be 30 million, and his deal would be going up after next. Arguments can be made on both sides for this trade. He says in Ryan Poles, Bears Nation must trust. So you're saving $6 million off the hit this year. You get $28 million next year. That's a lot of money, dog. Shout out to Belton says that's a lot of money. It leaves 20. Okay, yeah, here it is. Here it is. Adam Johns. New Bears GM didn't take long to make a statement. Khalil Mack was set to have a heavy cap hit, $30.15 million for 2022 this season. So that's on me. I missed that one. I misread that one earlier. According to Sports Track, a trade leaves $24 million of dead money on the Bears books. So there's some cap saving. So now you probably are moving Quinn. Now you probably are trying to move Quinn. Because I thought you were getting all of it freed up. Still a lot of money off of those books. Belton, what would you be willing to give up for DK? I'm not huge on DK. I'm not, dog. I'm not. I would love to have DK here, but I'm not giving up a crazy amount for him. Not to say that DK isn't a great player, but DK is not a number one. If you're trying to go, you're going to pay DK number one money to be a number one. Has DK shown you that he is a number one? I don't think so. He's been nice. DK's fast. DK's tall. Shout out to Chef Mac. Says reality is there's no receiver this year in the market that's a number one. Christian Kirk ain't a number one, and the best available receiver right now in the market is Allen Robinson, and we know he's not coming back. That's a fact. That's a fact. Your number one right now was going to be the dude you just let walk out the building. That was your number one wide receiver. A third down target, big body. Now the 50-50 balls, there's room to be explained, right? There's room for debate on that. There's room to debate on that. There were some issues with Allen Robinson for sure. But at a minimum, you knew he could be a safety blanket. You got the speed in Mooney. You got to take the top off guy in Mooney. But the problem is, if he's not over the top of the guy, you're not going to be able to – he's not able to come down with those 50-50 balls either. We've seen that. We've seen that. Shout out to y'all for tuning in and rocking with your boy, man. Chat is bussing right now. We've been live for an hour just trying to get all the news we can out of this. Trying to get all the news that we can out of this. And now you're looking at Travis Gibson. How do y'all feel about Gibson and Quinn possibly? And again, Gibson is not Khalil Mack, right? But he's the reason why I say I'm not worried about the Bears finding pass rushers. We found Travis Gibson. We've sent guys out of here. We've sent guys out of here that have been good pass rushers. We've gotten guys back in here that have been good pass rushers. We can find good pass rushers. You need to go buy people that have proven that they're talented at the offensive line position. You need to find guys that can prove that have already proven their talent at the offensive line position. Because guess what we haven't been good at? Putting people in front of our quarterbacks to keep them upright. Like realistically. Good offensive line in what, 2018? They did better. From 2018 till when did we have another good offensive line? We talking about maybe that second year with Cutler, third year with Cutler? Tommy says, you tripping right now. He's not a double-digit sack guy. I hate to tell you this, Tommy, but Khalil Mack wasn't last season either. And that's not throwing shade at Khalil Mack, but Khalil Mack was injured. Khalil Mack has been injured. I said that with confidence. I'm checking the stats right now. I said it with confidence, right? Khalil Mack wasn't either. That's crazy that he's got interceptions. That's hilarious, dog. Dang, why this one not sliding over? There we go. Yeah, Khalil Mack wasn't either. Last 3 seasons, Khalil Mack, 8.5, 9, 6. Had 12 his first season. 12.5 his first season. I like Joseph coming out. Why is Eddie Jackson still a Bear? That's a good point. Shout out Baki. Anyone who's pissed about the Matt Cap situation should be mad at Ryan Pace. He was terrible at giving away draft capital and bad contracts. Now the cap hits we're taking because of him. Here's the thing, though. I'm not going to be mad at Ryan Pace. You know why? Because getting Khalil Mack was the right move. It was. Getting Khalil Mack was the right move. Did it work out? Did it win you a Super Bowl? No. But you know why? Because you had a kicker who couldn't make a kick and couldn't keep that defense on the field, off the field. You had a historical defense that I've 110% believe, even with Mitch Trubisky, could have gone a long way. And the little things took us out of that. I'm not saying Khalil Mack's not a great player, but there's sometimes where I take the Bill Belichick approach with it. There's sometimes where I take the Bill Belichick approach with it, right? Is there good football left for Khalil Mack? Absolutely. You're doggone right. Were we going to use it this season? Probably not. Were we going to be in a position to use it this season? Probably not. You know why? Because if we keep Khalil Mack, we can't go out and find somebody to stand in front of Justin Fields. Yeah, that's an iffy one for me, Chef Mac. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, Chef Mac. Are you giving up on Mack possibly a year too early? Possibly. But I take the Bill Belichick approach with it. Is there good football left in him? Maybe. But you know what? There's something I need to build now to help other people on the other side of this, on the other side of the football, be better. There's something I need to build up that helps me on the other side of the football be better. And guess what? I can't do that if Khalil Mack's still on the other side. Ryan Poles isn't trying to build this team to be the monsters of the midway on defense. Ryan Poles is trying to finally put an offense on the field that's going to be able to consistently be dangerous. I bet you Mack have double digits this year. And okay, you might be right. Shout out to you. You might be right. I'm not saying he can't play. Who's saying Khalil Mack can't play football? You know what I'm saying? Who's saying Khalil Mack can't play football? But unfortunately, this is the position you're in. And if you're trying to get somebody on the offensive side of the ball, then unfortunately, there's going to be a couple of casualties. I'll tell you this. I don't think Ryan Pace is done. I don't think Ryan Pace is done on the other side. K Down says you have to get O-line help and Pace Smith. Facts. I don't think Ryan Pace is done. I think he's making moves to try and get this defense right, or this offense right. Trying to see if there's anything else coming in this, man. I don't see anything new from Shefty. So I think that's pretty much it on this one. Unfortunately, Khalil Mack's no longer in the city. I do love Khalil Mack. Did I say Pace? My bad. My bad. Polls, y'all know what it is. My bad. I got PTSD, bro. I got PTSD. That's all. I got PTSD. Mark Montejo, do you think Montgomery is next? Maybe. Maybe. I doubt you're giving up. I doubt you're giving up David Montgomery, but listen, y'all not gonna like my viewpoint on what you do with running backs. Nobody does. But I tell you this right here. Khalil Herbert came in and showed me great things too. Similar things to what David Montgomery can do. And he did it versus a defense that literally hadn't allowed 100 yards. Crucial Courage. Overall grade on this move. Overall grade on the move here. Right now, right? I'll say this is a solid B move. This is a B move. With room for improvement. It's a B move because I don't think anybody lost in this, right? If anybody thinks the Bears were going out to win a Super Bowl with Khalil Mack on the other side next year, you're crazy. So I think it's a B move because I don't think anybody lost in this. The Bears get the money back, a good chunk of the money back. They saved $34 million over the next 2 years. The Bears get draft capital back that can be used to build some of the glue guys on this team. I'd say it's a B move. With room for improvement. And what I mean by that is now you got to get a guy in here. Now you got to get a guy in here, right? Now you got to find that guy. Listen, it's all fine and dandy to say, hey, this is a B move and I like it. But you don't just trade Khalil Mack and do nothing with that money. You don't trade Khalil Mack and do nothing with that money. Right now, as it stands, with the deal with Mack, you still got the $24 million against the cap, but it increases their cap by $6.15 million this year. It clears out that $28.5 million going into next year. So, like I said, there's still some work to do here. It's about what Ryan Poles does with the move now. It's about what Ryan Poles does with the move. So that's yet to be seen. That's yet to be seen. Listen, for right now, it's in Poles we trust. For right now, it's in Poles we trust. But he's got to do something with it. Mike Nice says, trading Mack for O-line is not the answer. We need a weapon on offense. Draft O-line. You did that. If that's the case, don't draft nobody. Crucial. That's a good one. I give you that one. That was good. I give you that one. If that's the case, don't draft nobody because you drafted a kid you want to play left tackle last year. Chef Max says, does this look like a tanking season? I don't know if that's the case. You know why? Because you can go from worst to first. You can go from worst to first. Right? We saw Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow do it last season. If they come out and they struggle, yeah, then it's a tanking season. But to me, this is an opportunity where you don't have the in and outs of Justin Fields. Oh, we're going to put him in and now we're going to take him out. And now we're not really set up for him because we've set up. We're not really set up for him because we've set up this thing for Andy Dalton. So now we got to figure out what's going on with that, and then we're going to get that, and then Justin go back in because now we don't have anybody else, and now it's your team, but now it's kind of not your team, and now we want none of that's happening no more. That's out of here. And remember, the salary cap is going up to $208 million. So you've got, I'm trying to see where we're at right now, if I can get a total on this. So it's 208. So it looks like right now, if I'm reading this right, we have 28.97. Wait, what? We have 28, just about 29 million, little under 28, little under $29 million in cap space. And I don't know if this is updated. Khalil Mack is still on here, so add 6 million of that. So according to this, we have 28 million in cap space, and you're adding 6 million of that. You got to find a way to protect Mitchell Trubisky. Good Lord. I'm having PTSD today, ain't I? You got to find a way to protect Justin Fields. Because you didn't protect Mitchell Trubisky. There's no point in taking a guy that high and not putting people in front of him that are going to keep him alive. There's no point in putting a guy that high and not putting people in front of him to keep him alive. It's just what it is. I mean, listen, I don't think Mitch was the greatest quarterback. I don't think he was the end all be all, but if you put him ahead of him, if you put people ahead of him, guess what? He might be a little bit better. If he has time, he might be a little bit better. That's a difference-making play. Now, you might still have Mitch in the building. I don't know if Muzz want that. I think we're a lot happier with Justin, but we'll see. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, I'm going to get up out of here, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me. If any more news breaks, just know we'll be hopping up on this mug yet again. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the page, man. We talk Chicago sports daily on this channel from 11 to 1. We'll be breaking this down with Ringo and P-Kid tomorrow on the live show from 11 to 1. Tune in with us on that. We got so much content coming your way. Also, check out on the channel right now, we got a video talking about the 3 offensive tackles I think the Bears should go out and get. I've talked about it here, but you might as well check the video out as well. As always, man, it's your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with your boy for another day, man. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Tough news, but also a move in the right direction to me.